greetings. All right, thank you for joining us. Okay, I got Fritzy's here, but you can't see her, so Priscilla tore down the background, and she laid on the background for a long time, so she's on to other bigger and better things, so I got the background back up. All right, so Groundhog Day was yesterday. I didn't realize it was, so also Groundhog Day, the movie, is a Time Lord energy, basically. I think it was like going through time for 1,000 years, like the same day over and over again for 1,000 years. It might have been 10,000 years, something like that. There's like I forget it was never really stated in the movie how long he goes in time, but I think it's like 100,000 years. He does the same day over and over again, something like that. It's like some crazy number. It doesn't really matter. So some people obviously feel like they go through the same day over and over again. And I don't know, just a Groundhog Day energy is just kind of fun to tap into, kind of lighten the frequencies and how somebody want to blow up the world at World War III. I guess a Chinese balloon was found. It's like whatever, just trying to trigger people into the end of the world. But either way, we'll see where things go. Yeah, we'll make it through. If World War III does happen, which it probably won't, we'll just go to another planet somewhere. We'll just ship somewhere else. You probably already know what even happened. So it's really hard to say where this place is going. Because if the society not everybody, but quite a few feet off of chaos. Chaotic beings come here. Obviously cause a lot of this and then call it normal. Parasitic beings come here to incarnate as humans and it's here to cause chaos. And eventually humanity will realize that, but they're not, there hasn't been a movie about it yet, about how the darker dimensions fool people by possessing people and things like that. Even if they did, I don't think it would get much attention anyway. And also the North Pole Vortex energies. This in general is going to connect to Antarctica, but feels like the North Pole. Basically, it's an entry place or area for multidimensional beings. Of course, it's an entry to anywhere, but it's, the North and South Pole is very powerful energies, so just basically tapping into those frequencies just in general, just keeping it just whatever it has to say. That might also be some time traveling frequency too, for those that tap into that type of energy. Of course, we're all time travelers in some form. Of course, we're here in the physical, but some can actually remember it. And that can be kind of overwhelming for obvious reasons. And of course, they have the Garthian beings that are connected to the North Pole frequencies. Also, we have Saddam Hussein that came up. I'm not sure, maybe he's floating around. It's kind of a fun one, sort of. Obviously, Saddam Hussein was pretty bad during his time. But, you have a warlord lifetime. He can kill people with no big deal. And he did horrible things. But then he has an incarnation after that, where eventually it has to be good. It incarnates into like a Care Bear world. Or maybe he is a Care Bear somewhere in some reality. Where he's got to be a good being. It's like, okay, you've been horrible. Now it's time to turn that frown upside down. Turn that. So, they go through a rehabilitation cleanse if they want to. It all depends, of course. Of course, after a lifetime like Saddam Hussein, who was humiliated, hung. So obviously he's going to be a little bit bitter about how he left the world. So, but he had to be kicked out of here anyway. It was pretty bad anyway. There's also the conspiracy, which I don't think is too far off, of the currency wars that are going on. Like Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, they get away from the dollar. And so our government quietly goes after other countries because of the dollar, to keep the dollar, keep it relevant. So you might call it a conspiracy theory. It makes sense. We're never going to hear about it. How far can that be off? So yeah, they would leave Saddam in power. So obviously it pissed some people off, but I mean, I don't think governments really can care. I don't think they can care less, actually, what he does to his people. But if he makes the wrong person, that's bad, isn't it? But then he makes the wrong person mad, and then he goes away. So, yeah, it's pretty messed up when you think about it. Of course, they don't want to invade countries and all that, but yeah, it was pretty terrible. Of course, we're doing that with Russia. Russia is such a natural resource, and that's why we're having this current war right now. So, yeah, that was a strange one. Who knows? I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Okay, all right. So, all right, Fritzy's in the background. You can't see her, but she's helping somewhere. All right, is that what we're talking about? Private sessions. We have a scheduled. We have a shop here. I forget where I'm at. I'm probably have to raise the prices a little bit. I think $5.50 on the $5 ones, because they just keep hiking prices on me. It's like, anyway, I need to upgrade anyway. Webinar was yesterday, I think. No, social network behind the scenes. So, oh yeah, and you wonder if I'm talking about Groundhog Day. Yeah, because I didn't realize that the 30th anniversary. It's the best movie ever, too. The ending of this movie got kind of weird. Groundhog Day. Yeah, is a time where it was the same day over and over again. Yeah, awesome. I think, I don't know, it's up in there. Probably 1,000 years living the same day over and over again. God, that's enough to drive you freaking nuts. So it could have been a year. Who knows? It's not clear. There's different connection energies there. But the original story was because like a university professor came up with it. And I believe it was like supposed to be like for 1,000 years or 10,000 years, something like that. Or 100,000 years, whatever it might be. Ouch. So, all right. Sure all systems go here. All right. Messages. Okay. All right. Blessings. Here we go. Brings me the time traveling consciousness. Of course, as we've been through here before to some level. Basically, the time travel is activating your DNA, believing in yourself, going to a place in time that you won't get attacked. Like you can time travel to another planet. You might not always believe it, but it's easier to go to somewhere like Pluto than it is to go to Mars. As you can see, there's a lot of conspiracy theory energies with Mars, because Mars isn't exactly the most, it's not a summer camp there. In the higher dimensions, it's doing a great deal. And some of you can tap into those energies. It might not look like anything in the third dimension, just a big rock, just a rock planet, basically. Possibly a future of humanity. Possibly. I mean, they might, Mars is like one of those places they keep saying it's going to be your second home, but it never happens. It's kind of hostile and it's hard to grow anything there. Terraform technologies are not about to make that public. And they can over time, but in your time period, you got a long ways for that. But of course, you have a great deal here on your planet to figure out. Your world will survive everything you're going through. World War III, we're not really seeing. Of course, the timeline can't come in and cause it, but I wouldn't put too much worry onto that. Yeah, it's agents of chaos are here. And they're not about to let go of your society just yet. Well, it's to test humanity also. It is part of the disclosure, you can say, of awakening. But there is also alien beings here that'll make sure that you will not destroy your world. So the World War III energies, they can let people talk about it, but unlikely it will occur. This world's too valuable. Well, it has a lot of chaotic energy, but it has a lot of beings. Like this world has, of course, on a third dimensional level, you might not notice it, but it does attract a lot of beings that don't normally make an appearance. I mean, they incarnate as a human, and some of them get very powerful very fast. A lot of those are alien beings. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. And not everybody here knows where they came from. Of course, even on a metaphysical level, it's hard to pick up on where some of these, like they create this company out of nowhere, all of a sudden they're popular. Maybe they might keep themselves hidden, but either way, they have a way of growing, creating power. So, yeah, you get to a whole level of strange. Well, basically, eventually, your alien groups will be taken more seriously. But it's going to be a while for that. Basically, in your spiritual zeitgeist, your speak of society, like Palladians, Syrians, and all these other thousands, millions of other alien species be taken more seriously, spoken about, maybe not seen, but just basically becomes more part of your society. Where you might not have all the answers, but you have psychic being people tapping into it, and more people are getting more used to that frequency. Just people are just not educated to spirituality, of course, for obvious reasons. But you're going into that level, basically, where psychic knowledge becomes normal. That just many have a lot of fear of. Of course, they're not teaching that in the churches. Of course, that is in the Bible. So you're going into a time where basically psychic knowledge. So just having that psychic coming out party is very difficult and not necessarily needed currently. But future generations, it will become normal. It won't be easy like anything else. It will be weaponized to a certain level. You're going to have another problem here, yes, as usual. But when it goes more to the mainstream, more people take it more seriously. It just suppose that's not ready yet. Well, it's various different, but anyway, you're building that up. As a time traveling being, yes, for time now you can as a time traveler, yes, you can get locked into time loops. Uh, yeah, so time traveling can have its downsides. It can literally be now. You have enough problems here. I will not worry too much about it. But some of you might feel like you're living the same day over and over again. You try to do different. You might be able to do different things, but you still see the same vibrations are going on. Maybe even with some of your friends or colleagues, whoever it might be, it's like the mannerisms are a duplicate from the other day. And yes, people still have their mannerisms, but some of you might start really noticing it. It's like, this is a little bit too random. It might not be exactly like the day before, but there is some similar. Now, obviously, anybody can say, oh, yeah, of course, but it's very subtle. Some of you that are time travelers doesn't mean that you're stuck. No, it's like sometimes it's better just to have the same thing happen over and over again. Uh, Familiarity, whatever you're working on. Sometimes you have the same day over and over again, kind of to cloak your energy. Meaning, like alien beings that come in other dimensions, they can see your frequencies. Oh, that's just a normal person. When in truth, you really aren't. Not all alien beings can see how different you are. It might, yeah, if you're especially an alien being here, your soul comes from a unique place, a rare place from your solar system. And not all aliens know everything. So you can actually literally come here and cloak yourself with your energy signature. Let that sit in with some of you. Some of you might actually feel that way. That you're just feel like you're keeping yourself kind of, you're an unusual being. You're rare here, and you don't want to be messed around by you don't want Palladians coming around you talking to you. It's like, just go away. It's like I'm on my work visa from space. So some of you probably tap into some of that level of it. It just, yeah, being incognito is not a bad thing. But all these alien energies here, yes, they don't know everything. And if you look like a regular freak, meaning like you're not having any flags up for them to notice you, you can just coast on by. Obviously, they'll pick up on your frequency at a certain level, but some of you do have different type of missions here that are, yes, unusual. So this is. Greece, you. We are the energies from the North Pole frequency, basically. Our energies are actually for longevity, for you to connect to your chakra system in a positive frequency, basically for you to live out your timeline. So the Earth itself does ask for assistance, as many of you know from other star systems. That's why you hear about the Pleiadians and the Syrians and whoever it might be, because it's basically to help the people that are here. That's some kind of assistance for you to live out your obligation, your mission here. Now you have, yes, guides and but you can also get a backup because Mother Earth wants you to succeed. For those of you that are here to help, those that aren't here to help, she does have to step back and let society do what it must do. Now, is she going to stop this whole World War III situation? Most likely. But yeah, those type of things do happen. Yes, planets are born, they die, but this world's going to hold on for quite some time. It's going to get through all of this. It's been through enough abuse as it is, but Mother Earth has a great deal to achieve herself. Now, how many do tap into that frequency? How many of you just are obviously trying to get your own life somewhere? But Mother Earth also has her own mission. And part of it is for what humanity here to do their thing. Sometimes, yes, making it harder. Society makes itself harder for itself is actually fascinating to Mother Earth's frequency. The Gaia, she just looks at the world. It's like, yes, the family or the people invited here are, yes, going through all kinds of ordeals. But she herself, from what I can see, does not want to interfere with it. Because that can cause more difficulties. You talk about aliens interfering with society. What about Mother Earth? If Mother Earth, and that's on her. So Mother Earth can actually assist in saving society. But then she says no. Now, sometimes she does ask for help, yeah, especially when it goes to nuclear weapons and all of that. It's like her energy can be lowered also like anybody else's. Like you go through astral attacks, she goes through astral attacks. But also many of you are similar to an earth being yourself. You have beings coming and going through you too. Now some of you protect your energy so that does not happen. But you have your energy field is very similar. Meaning somebody comes in to try to hijack your frequency, get you to do what they want you to do, and so on. So yes, the world's not educated for that for obvious reasons. Well, because you do kind of go into the magic ideas, the magic realms. Because basically, soul energy is magic in a higher dimensional level. Yes, you're here human. The physical experience basically to just lower the magic energies because magic for some people obviously gets scared. and it was misused, of course, many times in the past and throughout ancient times. And yeah, just well, beings that came incarnate here as magical beings, they had timelines here where, yeah, some of them might abuse their power. I mean, it's just the dark realms want to show how much powerful they are than the light. It goes on and on. It's like a little soap opera, basically. A lot happened in Babylon. That's why Babylon, you can say Babylon opened up too much magic and had to close its doors. Kind of magic kind of wiped it out, but it had to be erased from history to a certain level. Of course, throughout the Bible, you see magic frequencies also, Jericho, for example. And it just there's little magical timelines for various different reasons. But for your own energy field, yes, it's to connect to your spirit and just releasing all of this troubled frequency around yourself, the earth, but mostly around your energy. Yes, to connect more to your simplistic high vibration of the higher dimensions, where life just everything makes sense. So sending you all energies, blessings. Grease you. It's the consciousness of Saddam Hussein, and more like the higher consciousness, which is, yeah, it's basically the Saddam, like anyone else here, got power hungry. When no one was stopping him from doing terrible things, he just kept doing it. Became obsessed with it. Also paranoid that somebody would try to take him out because all these dictators eventually feel like everyone can take his spot. So that's why so much death is around Saddam Hussein to make sure he stays in power. So was there a CIA energy brought into somewhat? They did spy on him. Well, they're trying to get him to do what they want him to do, which he did not do. So they removed him from power. There's much more detail in that. Just obviously, the U.S. government has their own problems. Yes, there's more villains in the U.S. government than people might realize. Obviously, some of you realize it, but it's not all bad. But there is a power-hungry energy that's, once again, very paranoid. In your incarnations here, well, so as a human here, it's a tough one, but to learn to forgive beings that are horrible, parents, children, because children can be worse. You can have the nicest parents in the world and have like a devil child. Well, some of you already know that. But really, forgiveness for a being that's been a dictator, forgiving that frequency, you might not love that person for what they did, but as the world begins to forgive, I know some of you have problems with that idea, but you forgive the actions of the person, your world will heal much quicker. You have a corrupt government. It's like, it sounds a little strange here, but it's almost like let them be as horrible as they are, but you become more aware of how horrible they are. And like it's not fun anymore when they can't hide it. Right now they're hiding it. And that's what many of you come here for, where secret societies can't be secret anymore. You're getting there. That's a tall order. It takes time for that. But as you become more aware how darkness works here, it can't, we bring light to the shadow. But also you make sure that does not happen again. That's what you're warning, to make sure, because that's what happened in Atlantis. Atlantis, you can say the light kind of saw the terrible things, tried to do something, kind of just, oh, it's okay. They'll sort it out. And then they took the island down. So that's one piece of it. For you as soul energies, basically, you're connected to the higher dimensions. You're actually helping a lot of ghost beings be released from this earth because many are been trapped here. Even since ancient Rome, many beings are still holding on. And some of you have incarnations here physically, but you also have ghost energies here trapped in the past still. Not that you have to put worry there, but some you can probably tell who does have and who does not. Or if they're very connected to chaotic energy, a lot of times they have a ghost still here somewhere. Not always. It all depends because your ghost self going through all this chaotic frequency and it comes back to the physical person. This is a lot of deep cleaning to do on your planet. So, blessings.